Hello everyone, welcome back to chess. That's what this game is called. We're playing chess. We're playing black as 1510 against Zuckerspect. This is the Caro-Kann, right? Yeah, that sounds about right. This looks German, so I tried pronouncing it Germany. German, German-ish, German-y. Uh, Germanically. Deutsch. Zuckerspect. I feel like, would they say spect or like specht? I don't quite know when you get this implicit H sound combined with like an S blank kind of thing. Okay, let's get the bishop out now. I'm pretty sure, right? Since they've played this, I can put a bishop here. That's my recollection of how this goes. Make space for my knight here and my bishop to get out like this or something. Okay, now there's not some trap against my bishop this way. I know sometimes when they make pawn moves like this, you have to be careful with this bishop, but I think it's more like this that would be a problem, as I recall. If they'd already played something like that. Yeah, they could attack here, but I can just back up and they're nowhere near catching me, so this is fine. I feel like they're supposed to play this sort of soonish. I don't know. Something doesn't feel right about this position. I want to put the knight here eventually, so I guess I'll just do that now. I don't know. Like, what am I doing with this bishop? That's my question. There's not a lot of good places for him. I can put him here, but that's kind of where the knight has to maneuver through. I mean, this? Not a good place for a knight, really. So I kind of want the knight to go here, but then where? I don't know. My pieces all look stupid. I guess I could put my bishop here. That might inconvenience the opponent, no? Now that there's this x-ray? Attack the knight, pin the knight, and then maybe... I can't actually pile up the queen, though. I can put the bishop here and then back up. But I don't really want the bishop there. I want to do something about this pawn. Can I make this push already? Is that what I'm supposed to do? I think I can. Yeah, that's how this is supposed to go. I already have the bishop. Okay. I think they're supposed to go here, right? To maintain the pawn. And that gives me room to put this knight here, which is a much better spot. Yes, that's why this is a good move. Okay. And I guess the point of opening with c6 instead of c5, and then later playing c5, is that I can support this long enough to get my bishop out here and this. Okay, anyway. So here we are. This puts my knight into a pin, but... Oh, it also drops the pawn. It blocks the bishop. I want to be careful about this bishop check. For example, don't move the queen here. That would be a disaster. I don't know, I could block, I guess, but it would be pretty unpleasant all the same. We could block with bishop, and then if takes, the queen is still here, so it would be maybe okay. But I think just scooting the bishop, the queen over to the side is probably best. Or up here, right? She defends this. She's not immediately vulnerable over here. Grabs this pawn, who has no defender currently, and gets out of the way of the rooks connecting. Okay. Now the other thing I could try is f6. If pawn takes, queen's guarding this, but like the kingside structure is ruined in that case. And I don't like going queenside with this many pawn moves over here, so I think we'll just get queen out of the way. We're also kind of x-raying this pawn, which is nice. We have a bishop on it already, and the queen is the only defender. So takes here is a threat now, actually. I guess the knight can take and defend. I don't know. I feel like a lot of these games I wind up like not being able to develop my king side at all somehow. I should like look up how you're supposed to do this. Okay, so if takes, I can get my bishop out with check and not be deflected by a pawn, which is very nice. Takes. There's also this move, check. Not check, taking the pawn, the knight. And then when bishop check, no piece would be able to block. Oh no, this knight would. Okay, so both knights can get here. All right, we're taking here. I guess I should probably take with the knight here, huh? Maybe. No, they want a pawn here. I'm pretty sure to support this valuable e pawn. They need. They need. You want a pawn supporting it. You don't want a bunch of pieces having to hang on to a pawn deep in enemy territory. Oh, actually, knight takes would be wrong because then queen here, check, wins the pawn. Yeah, so that's another reason to take with the pawn. So we do have this. Makes this knight move, I think. No, he's defended. He could just stand still and be pinned to the rook. Yeah, I don't think that accomplishes much. What about captures here? And then if rook takes, we have queen here check winning the pawn. Here, though, if queen takes... Do we have anything? We might have this check. Then the only piece that could block would be this knight. And then we could trade again and lure the king. No, this bishop can block as well. Okay. So I don't think that that's a big deal. But it is nice to get the bishop out with tempo, so I think I'll do that. It's like this SP thing, right? I know we have the word spiel, S-P-I-E-L, which I assume comes from German because they have a word spelled the same. But in German, I believe it's pronounced spiel, right? With like that sh sound. And so I don't know. It makes sense to me that Specht would be like that as well. But I'm not actually sure. I never studied German at all. Okay, knight goes into a pin. Wait, what? Don't I just win a pawn now? Check. You could block, but then you're down a piece, so takes. Takes here, check. And then I guess you block with knight so that because otherwise I'm on the knight, right? What's the downside of this? I get this insane queen. Oh, I'm on the knight, but it's guarded by the queen. Right, I keep forgetting. But then I could pile up. I don't see anything wrong with this. My queen is not defending any other important stuff. I don't like trading queens right now while I have like sort of this mild attack going. But I'm not trading queens. I'm just trading pieces and then winning a pawn. If they block, I probably am trading queens. No, I'm taking the rook. A lot better. So I think they have to block with knight. And then, like, don't they have some kind of cool stuff? There's like this to try and get the bishops off, or this to attack the rook, but it just ducks. I guess then I could go here, attacking the queen. That would be no good because I win this, right? So here, rook here, here. You don't want to block with the bishop, I think. Because then I can take, and you have to either move the queen off this rank or move the king, which you don't want to do. So I think you have to move the queen. You can't take, the knight's pinned. And oh, you can move the queen here with check. That would be pretty unpleasant for me. I mean, I could block, I guess, but it's not. Let's. Okay, am I at risk of anything serious up here at the moment? Besides this attack? I am scared about this move. But I don't want to move my queen back to like protect against it. I want to just like get castled, ideally. But here, check. Here. No, now my king can't castle because the knight's. He's the only thing guarding the knight. So I think if here I just have to drop back like that, and that should be fine. No, I can block this way. Okay, I think that's fine. And that way, keep the queen's pressure on A1. There's also this bishop move with check, but I think likewise I can defend this way. Actually, I guess I'd rather go this way because my knight is currently attacked and defended only by the king. Okay, I mean, that is a little scary, I guess. We can go here and try to attack the pawn, but I think that's pretty greedy. And anyway, they could just continue the attack, so it doesn't seem to work. Let's back up a bit. Okay. You got me. My queen is a little bit out of bounds here. Is it here that I want to go? It's easy for the rook to follow up in that case. I think I'll just go all the way to the edge. And so now I conveniently defend both of these checks. Rook here I have covered barely. Oh. Takes here. Here? No, because now my king's out of the way. I see. So I don't get to castle this way. Maybe that's why I shouldn't have put the knight here. But I don't know. It's not so bad. I do get to develop the rook anyway. And this move didn't cost me a tempo. And the center is not so bad a place to be right now. I'd rather be kingside, no doubt there. But I have pawns shielding me pretty well from center attacks. Wait a minute. I could have just taken this pawn. That seems probably good. Maybe there's some risk of like a knight attack discovering this, but I would go here, so it risks letting the rook in sooner, maybe? Wait a minute. Why not just bring the rook in first? Nothing can block. Yeah, I was toast. After this, right? I have to move the king, or else block with the queen. And then they get my rook. Huh. Okay, what is she up to? I don't know. Defending this pawn, maybe? I wasn't really attacking it. Just get this file a bit more under control and prepare some rooks. Also attacks the pawn. Yeah, I think I made some huge blunder at some point here. And I think it was this knight move. Yeah, I think this was game over for me. Oh, this is not great either. Oh, this is really bad. Okay, I guess I lose anyway. Okay, yeah. I didn't look very closely at what the queen was doing, and I didn't see that this pawn was hanging. My king is defended, though. It should be fine, right? Haha. Ouch. Center's not so safe, huh? So queen here is just a nothing move. It just sucks. King anywhere down here loses the rook and then the other rook. Right? With check, even. I don't have any good blocks in any cases, I don't think. Well, I guess if king here, I can bring the queen back and lose only one rook. I don't know. They can just grab this pawn probably as well. Not pawn, it's a knight. Yeah, I didn't pay enough attention to my opponent's threats. when I developed that knight. Oh, or queen takes it with check would be even better, I guess. Gotta get my king off this file so there's not any pins like this. This rank, I mean. Yeah, this is the danger of like not castling. And also making tactical blunders, but like those were blunders that became available because I started attacking my opponent before I got castled. I don't know, they didn't castle either, but I don't know, my queen was a little too exposed. That pawn was dangerous to take after all. I mean, I don't know, like if you want to trade queens, we can. I'm kind of losing anyway, right? What if I like tried going back here? Is it possible I could find some cheeky queen and bishop checkmate? I don't think so. There's too many guardians around these. Like this is an important guard. Like, well, I get my bishop here and queen here, I would win. But if I move the king back, they just have this, which is devastating. So I kind of have to not do that. And that takes away all my counterplay too. But I'm gonna stick around for a while. Maybe something good will happen. Oh, I see. You can do that anyway. All right, fine. So this all. Oh, did my opponent request computer analysis already? I guess so. I want the engine off, though. I don't want to know about my blunders. I want to analyze without it. I guess it... Okay, I can go back to this board. But it's nice to have the analysis board so you can move pieces around. So far, this all seems fine. This move seems questionable, but I don't think it's really right to try to do something about it. It's defended by the queen anyway. I think this pawn break is good. I guess I could maybe try discouraging the bishop first, but I don't want to prioritize that. Queen here seems fine. This file is likely to open up, and we might want to go there. Takes is all right. I think this check is still an okay way to develop the bishop. And I think one thing I was definitely considering at this point was trying to get my queen back to safety, just bank the material. And I just just didn't see any concrete threats, but this should be a pretty obvious one that I didn't really recognize. And so getting the queen back to like, I don't know, here would probably be good. Maybe. Or even here. It's probably okay. Well, maybe not. We want to get the queen to d7. I think. I don't know. Maybe this bishop and a rook here and this bishop can give her some trouble. Covering too many of the squares she wants to get to. Right? Well, let's not get rid of that. There we go. So they can cover this whole area, I think. But to do so, they need a defender for the bishop, which I guess would be the queen. But I think if they try to develop all of that, I think I'd have this move. Or maybe knight here. So I think the queen's in a lot of danger. Oh, right. Also, we don't want to get to d7 because, as I explained in the game, there's this bishop attack. So suppose that I back up to here, and they follow up with this rook attack, and I run to d7 as I said I might want to. They can't yet make this bishop move because the bishop's undefended. So they try prepping it with, I don't know, queen here. And then I can develop the pawn to defend this square so that the bishop can't actually arrive. But it's a very close thing still. My queen's in a lot of danger. And there might very well be some line that I missed that works for them. I don't know. Maybe instead of going here, I could block with the knight once the queen arrives on c7. I don't see anything immediately wrong with that, and it gets the rook developed. Keeps the pawn defended as well by the queen. Yeah, maybe that's better than trying to go into this, exposing this, creating the tactical vulnerability. Even if I don't see a way for them to immediately take advantage of it, they probably can before long if I bring my queen into there. I think knight g6 would be a better way to handle that. So I said at some point that they could have attacked me sooner, right? Yeah, right now they should just bring the rook in. Taking with the... Oh, no. The knight is guarding it. That's why they took this way. I see. That makes sense. So am I dead at this point? Or can I go here? I think I can probably go here. Like, queen b6, what's wrong with that? The back rank is all guarded. The only way the rook could enter would be here, which, since I have a queen there, is not that big a deal. I would happily trade queens. What else can they do about this? There's some check like queen a3, I guess? King has to move then. I'm not sure where I would put him. Here is kind of a nice way to guard these squares. And also stay off the back rank so that the rooks can patrol it more effectively. But it is like sort of in this bishop's line of sight. Maybe not now, but perhaps soon. And so the other thing would be like this, which, I don't know. Doesn't seem great. Yeah. I think the answer to queen b6 might be queen a3. And then I don't have anything great. I guess in the game, if this came up, I would try king d7 and just hope for the best. There's not some weird bishop thing happening. But knight here just gives up the entire game. Okay. Now let's see what the computer thinks. Yeah, indeed, I'm actually winning until this happens, or ahead anyway. Oh, knight here? Why don't they just Also, what's wrong with this? Yeah, this is where I could have taken the pawn and didn't. Right. I was having trouble getting my queen to safety, but I forgot. I noticed later, oh, I could have just taken this pawn. It looks kind of greedy because there's like this. Still? Soon, anyway. I don't know. Is there, though? Suppose takes... And they go in for this whole idea. This is undefended. Or, I mean, if they do this, I have to move the king, don't I? No, I can block with knight. That connects the rooks, everything's tied together, and my queen is going to have a fun time playing around with this bishop, I guess. You can win this pawn if you want. But that gives me license to get my other rook into the game. Which should be nice. Yeah. Cool bishop move. Okay, anyway, so I missed the best way to escape because I was just scared for my queen's life. And I didn't really look around at, like, capturing, right? Because it feels like I gotta run away. And this is an aggressive move, and we're looking for a defensive move, and a move can be both. Uh, but it just, as a chess beginner anyway, this doesn't occur to me as something to look for when I'm like, I gotta run away with the queen. I was looking for open spaces. They feel safe, right? Spaces with pieces on them feel dangerous. So why is knight here? Just because it like stops this from coming with check, basically? Yeah, it says they're not supposed to take here because now we can harass their queen. Huh. All right. Well, I made one other. Was this my blunder? Yeah. And my one mistake? Queen here. It says go further. Why did I not do that? Good question. It would be attacking this pawn. And still supporting this one. I was just like, oh, this file's gonna maybe open up, and it'll be nice to have a queen. But like, it's too early in the game to be attacking with the queen, and so being on the open file is more of a liability than an asset, really. So I understand. I think anyway why this is better. I don't know. I had the idea of X-raying this pawn, maybe, but it's not like they're gonna let me capture and actually, yeah. It's not like they're going to capture me and let this happen. Or let me capture and still have the pawn be here, right? They're probably going to do as they did in the game, defend it with the pawn, so this x-ray is not really anything. It says, by the way, don't take the pawn. I guess it's not that bad. And after thinking about it, it says, hey, maybe it's a good move after all. No, apparently developing the knight is better than anything else. Sure. All right, let's also take some time with the opening explorer and see if anything I did was weird here. Really, c5 is the most... Oh, right, that's the Sicilian, sure. I didn't realize that was the most popular response. I thought e5 was. But okay. Push here. They're supposed to take. But most people... Or I don't know. The computer thinks taking is as good as pushing, but players also think it's pretty similar, so they pushed instead. You can just push immediately? Really? I guess it takes they have trouble hanging onto this. And you get a really solid pawn chain. They have two weak pawns. This and this are problems. Okay, interesting. I'll keep that in mind. You know, this is called the advanced variation, and I've seen, openings talked about the advanced variation, and I, like, only until this very moment, I didn't realize why it was called that. Right? It sounds like advanced, but they call it advanced for some weird reason. Like it's, better than some older version. But no, it's the variation where they advance the pawn at some agreed upon point. Okay, interesting. And like, this would be the exchange variation? Yes. Makes sense. And I don't know what this is. Neither variation. Okay. Right, and it just keeps saying you got to push this pawn. Push this pawn. Why are you screwing around with your pieces? And I did it eventually. And they went for this bishop move, which is bad. Because it gives up the defender of this pawn. Yes. So supposing queen here, right? Interesting. Bishop e7 was played once. Sorry, this move was only played one time, and when it was, the player responded this way. Okay, interesting. Doesn't really matter. These are players around my level. They don't know what they're doing. But suppose we follow the computer's advice and play queen here. Now, if they try this to defend the pawn, then I can take this guy, right? So they can't do that anymore. They have to defend this pawn with... I mean, there's not a lot of easy ways to do it. This would do it, I guess. But then we can take here. And they don't get to bring a pawn back, and this becomes a weakness to play against. Right? They take, I assume, with knight. But we get a bishop here? Is that good? It attacks the rook, gets out of the knight's attack. Actually, I think we just have this move. Yeah. This attacks the queen. And if the queen takes, then we pick up the knight. So yeah, their obligation to defend this pawn means that they drop this pawn, the D pawn, I think. Well, maybe not quite. Here, get out of here, opening explorer. Maybe suppose here now queen takes. I mean, first of all, I could trade queens, which might be advantageous for me, being up a pawn and all. Oh, this actually seems like devastating for me. Right, I take the queen and they have to retake. Now check, and then whatever they do, we get the pawn here attacking an immobilized rook. So they can't take with the queen. That's no good. They have to take like this. But do we not still get this move? Check. Oh no, wait, that's not true what I said. If they take with queen, takes, check. Ah, yes, in this move, in this variation, they can't block with the knight. They can't stop the bishop getting here with the knight. They can block like this, but I still get the. Oh no. Yeah. They can block here, and I attack the rook, but it can move. So obviously I don't attack the rook. Instead, I do something else like this, which is lovely. Okay, so this seems like very nice for me if they try defending the pawn. And what if they defend it some other way, like queen here? Suppose we take this anyway. Now there's not enough defenders on this pawn, and they just have to let me have it. They can't retake. Okay. So then let's see what the computer thinks of this analysis. What should happen after queen here? It says just give up the pawn. And then in fact you could take the pawn. You don't have to, but you can. I was worried maybe this will do something, but no, we have this, right? So sure, defend the knight. Ooh, and this pawn's falling as well. Why not something like this? I guess establishing a pawn chain is better. Oh, also it's defended enough now, so yeah. We definitely don't want to trade these two pawns. So since you could push, um, which is nice because it gets out of the queen's way if she's attacked by the rook. There's a more escape routes as well as developing some excellent pawns. But it also says, hey, you could try grabbing this pawn if you want. Queen takes to threaten a queen trade. I'm surprised it doesn't. Why can't they dodge this? Is there something like here? They can dodge, but I guess now stuff is vulnerable over here. Huh. I don't understand what this has done to improve my position compared to them taking the queen trade. I guess they had to shuffle their queen a bit, and in the meantime I made improving moves, maybe is the idea. Okay, well. Oh, interesting. It says. Am I stupid? No, I couldn't have taken the queen. Yeah. It says this was a mistake and I should have blocked or actually moved here. Either one, I guess. They're both very bad, but they're not made in 5. Then there's this, and win the other rook, and it's just a nightmare. Okay, well, I'm sure I won't learn any lessons from this, but maybe I can take one or two away about remembering, A, some ideas about how to play the basics of the Caro-Kann, and B, importantly, that you can push c5 much sooner than I would have thought. When they advance, you can just push c5 immediately to try to break up their pawns. And they'll, I assume, defend. But you can add more fuel to that, and it gets kind of interesting, maybe? Okay. Just maintain some tension here for a while, because they don't want to take it. All right, that's enough for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.